Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by my guest. Serge NYAMBO is a survivor of the genocide. Hello, thank you very much for being with us today, Serge.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What's your sentiment on this 25th anniversary of the genocide?
Yeah, memories are still vivid. I can't deny that this is a heavy day, emotionally charged and overcharged sometimes. But as 25 years passed by, which means like a kid who was born quite after 94 is now like 24 and 25, you can see that physically the country has changed, and people just Rwandese people showed their levels of resilience, and survivors in particular have tried as much as they could to rebuild their lives, which means so many victims and so many people from slaughtered families who escaped and who survived have remarried, have tried to build and move forward with life. You know, sometimes human nature takes over, and you build yourself up. Neighborhoods, instead of killing each other, reunite again. The country gets a new system, a new government, and life prevails. That's the only lesson I can see into that. And
do you feel that the reconciliation process has been fully successful?
It will be a long walk to reconciliation, but I think for the time being, there's a bomb in the Gilead. There's hope out there. People reconcile. People living inside the country, very much more than us. Some people who don't live inside the country, who grasp the realities, and those they reconcile because it's a national policy, number one. Number two, I think, as I said, years and time comes with some healing year after year. And yes, the reconciliation process is ongoing. Some families have advanced, some individuals advanced more than others, but it's just the scheme and the scope of moving forward and living in a country, the togetherness that will bring that reconciliation to its end.
As you mentioned, you don't live in Rwanda anymore. Would you ever consider going back, or have you forgiven the perpetrators?
My road to forgiveness is it's tough. It's tough philosophically because I don't live inside the country, so sometimes I look at what's happening. But I have friends. It's a dear friend of mine called Immaculée Ilibagiza, who wrote a book called Left to Tell, published in the US. And she has worked very much in kind of a religious way on the subject of forgiveness. And that's a sample of somebody I know, and somebody who lost more people than I did. And those are lessons we need sometimes to push us outside our anger and comfort zone, the dark places where we've been confined, and rise up to another level and look the other picture and say, where am I going? Maybe my heart should turn to the above self and maybe reconsider forgiveness. But I'm not confronted to that for the time being, and I think one day I'll be ready to, like those very good examples are showing us inside the country, that a widow, a woman who lost his children and husband, killed by neighbors, many of them have finished their sentence now. They are back on the hill, and they have these gatherings to talk and come to excuses, explanations, and forgiveness at the end of the day. that's powerful, and we must all consider that.
Serge NYAMBO, thank you very much for having spoken to us on France 24. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We're moving to other world news.